This is Jay Michaels, and for many years now, I have reported on the arts, and I've used that term, I'll say pigeonholed. I've talked about the performing arts, but I've come to the epiphany that there are two words that we seem to pigeonhole and have been time in memoriam: theater and arts. The theater, I realized the other night, I was watching a medical drama from England on the BBC, and they kept saying, "Bring the patient into theater." And at first I thought, what? And then I suddenly realized they meant the operating theater. Some years ago, it reminded me, I was chatting with some veterans, and they were talking about the various conflicts that they were in, and one said to the other, "What theater were you in?" And now we were all artists at the time, so I thought they meant plays. And then he said Desert Storm or something. And then I thought, oh, the theater of war. And that made me think of the arts. Now, we always say arts and we're meaning performance, but there's another kind of performance that we have in the arts, and that is the culinary arts. Now, JMGC has spotlighted Pablito in Italy as being a classic mixologist, and we have several other culinary artists, and we have a brilliant one with us today. And I wanted to spotlight her because she has a very unique story. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet Diana Saguil. Is it pronounced Saguil? Am I right?
It'd be Saguil.
Saguil. Okay. That's why my name is Jay Michaels. It's real simple, but you'd be surprised how many people can't pronounce Michaels. And don't get me started on Jay. Diana, it's great to meet you. I read up on you. I read the article on you in Esquire and so many others, and you have a very interesting story. You were a championship swimmer, and
That's correct. Thank you so
and
much.
and how did you go from championship swimmer in the Philippines? Yes,
Yes, that is correct.
a championship swimmer in the Philippines to a master chef now in New York.
Yes.
How did that happen?
I know there's a lot of like mix of career and I mean, ever since the beginning, I was studying in the Philippines with a bachelor's degree with culinary arts, but at the same time, I was a varsity swimmer. So, in the morning, I was swimmer, and at the whole day, I was in the kitchen. So I was like having a time management for that. So me being in a varsity swimmer actually paid the scholarship for my culinary arts.
There you go. There you go. So,
Yes,
so one got you to the other.
yes, it is.
Why being a chef? What drew you to being a chef?
My parents has always been in love with cooking, and my dad he's a bartender. He's always been exposed with people in bartending. He's been in cruise ships. He's been doing this cocktails, drinks, and always serving people by the industry. So that makes me think that I really like being in the kitchen when I was with my mom, and my dad has always been cooking as well. And that really inspired me and made me curious what goes on in industry life and why there's so many things, there's so many curiosity in me, why there's so many flavors that goes with other things and make it so much good things and be able to make people happy with with the food you serve. So I always been, I wanted to be a chef. I wanted to be included in the kitchen. It doesn't mean I cannot do it because I'm a woman. I'm gonna go for it. That's how it goes.
Excellent, excellent. I love that last line. Good for you. Um,
Thank you so much.
Now, there's a great TV show now called Everybody Feed Phil or Somebody Feed Phil, something like that. And he goes around the world looking at
Uh-huh.
expert dishes. So to say cooking in New York
Hmm.
or even the United States, it's not a rarity necessarily. What drew you here? What made you say, okay, I'm packing up my knives. I'm heading for the United States.
I always have this thought that I'm going to United States, and if I'm not going to New York, I'm not going anywhere. I always have this. I'm a go getter. Is that what you call it? Like I'm a go getter. I know to myself that New York is a place for you to hone your skills, especially in culinary arts. So I quit my job back in the Philippines, and you know what? I'm flying to New York. I'm ready to dive hard and ready to set and start from the bottom. Whatever it is, I need to be in the kitchen. For me, I always have it.
Okay, so now here you are in New York. Now you're doing well, actually. You're doing very well in New York.
Thank you so much.
Where are you now? Where are you working now?
So I'm working now in Wyon. It's in the heart of Soho. It's like downtown Manhattan. I'm working for Cedric von Derichsen. That's the son of John George.
Right.
It's a French Indonesian restaurant. It's not a fusion. It's Indonesian food with French techniques. So there's a lot to learn here.
Wow. I'm blown away because you've reached the heights at such a young age. Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much.
What are the obstacles? Well, here you are in New York. You're working for a prominent chef. You're not telling me, okay, well, tomorrow my shift at McDonald's is this. No, you're
Yes.
you're working for a prominent chef. What's the obstacles? What are you going through now?
I feel like for now, in my position, the obstacles is transitioning to being the colleagues to their manager, if that makes sense.
Ah,
That's my biggest, if currently now, that's my biggest obstacle. But you know, being a fairly new manager brings me so much inspiration, brings me so much motivations on how can I prove these people that even such a young age, even there's no a lot of experience, that actually gives me more power to learn more, to be actually teach more. Because I always say that if the opportunity didn't come for you, it doesn't belong to you, you know? It means that the opportunity came to me, it belongs to me. That's what I just think about all the time.
that's great. I'm
Thank
going to
you.
steal that. That's great.
Yes,
Now
thank
you're
you.
using that scary M word, manager. Do you want
Yes.
to manage your own restaurant, own your own restaurant one day?
So we call the people like management because I'm part of the hierarchy. So in like in French, it's like French brigade that you have a hierarchy of people. That's why I call myself manager because it means like you're basically their bosses now. You're not a line cook anymore. So it means so much admin works with the kitchen and everything. I do want to have my own establishment someday. And I don't know, I feel like I would like to dive in more and learn more when it comes to pastry or baking. I feel like baking is not my area yet, but I find myself very happy doing that and by putting the savory idea with the pastry, if that makes sense.
That definitely makes sense, and I give you a lot of credit. You're not
Thank you
looking
so
to,
much.
and I use the term pigeonhole. You're not looking to just say this is all you're doing. You're looking at a very broad range, which is excellent,
Yes,
and it's going to make you, oh my gosh, so more marketable. Ah,
yes,
uh, so one day your own place, and there's going to be the baked goods with it, so one can come
yes.
in for dessert as well. All right, we're switching to my favorite thing now. We're switching to gossip. I love cooking
Uh-huh.
shows. I love cooking shows, and thanks to these cooking shows, chefs have become like these new movie stars. You see
Yes.
these tattooed people with these cool aprons, and they're from all these
With
wild
their
restaurants.
knives and everything.
Yes, exactly. They pull
Yes.
out these knives. It's wonderful, and everybody's screaming. Everybody's
Yes.
screaming. If you look at Chef Ramsay, he's never not screaming. Every cooking show I see, someone is screaming. Is it that,
Yes.
pardon the pun, is it that hot in the kitchen that everybody is that tense, or is this just a cinematic thing?
People would always see that the kitchen is always as glamorous as it is. They were like, oh, they're so amazed of what's going on. But it's not physically hot. Sometimes it's really, really hot. But what I say is the hotness is the pressure in the kitchen. You have to be able to put those and serve those dishes on time, not just being fast, but doing that efficiently. And if you can't handle that, if you don't have the efficiency, you don't have the time management, you can't make it in the kitchen. That's what I could say.
So you need to keep your cool in the kitchen. In
All
other
the
words,
time.
with all these
Yes,
tensions. Okay.
all
Okay.
the time. I feel like so we have this service and we call the rush hour pops. Sometimes, people summer, for example, summer people always have to go like 8 p.m., 7 p.m., or like they come at the same time, and that gives us rush hour. It means that's our pop. If you cannot have your cool before that pop comes, you're gonna go down. And if the leader goes down, all the kitchen goes down. So it's very important for the leader to have their cool and know what they're doing, know what the call has to be made, know the decision, so that the kitchen is just like dancing.
Wow. Wow.
Yes.
You strike me as someone very assertive. So I have a feeling that you're great under that pressure. That when the heat's turned up, you go to a slow boil. You don't overdo it. Um,
Thank you
so
so much.
I'm giving you credit on that. Now,
Thank you.
speaking of stress, we're in an interesting world now.
Yes.
I'm plant-based. I'm a vegan. I
Mm-hmm.
know people who have so many different dietary requirements. How does that work with you? Are you looking into vegan specialties, gluten-free,
Mm-hmm.
low calorie? Are you looking to cater to the new trends? And there are many of them.
It's funny that you say that. Like last week, I was just researching and I'm really digging the recent wave of vegan dining. It's like there's a lot of people that cannot contain any gluten anymore, or for example, they have celiac disease, or they can have like dairy allergy. It's very fun to actually experiment on food because there's a lot of options, and I feel like in New York City it's transitioning, but the vegetable is still underrated. So I'm really wanting to divert, and I'm really interested, but for now I'm focusing on the cuisine so that I can hone more skills for that.
So
Yeah,
you're
I know
fo
it's a whole new world.
your focus you are looking into these trends to give them gourmet dining.
Yes, I'm looking into that, and I'm I'm really digging into those things, and I'm
Excellent.
researching more. But because in our restaurants we have some vegan dishes as well, which is really good for people who wants to come in with their party. Some party they have vegetarian, vegan, pescatarian, which we are always adjusting to cater them as much.
Excellent. Excellent. I was trying to arrange a dinner party for several friends a couple weeks ago,
Uh-huh.
and one restaurant, I kid you not, I said, "Do you have?" And I gave them the litany of requests from my guests, and they actually said, "Well, then we're sorry, we can't help you." And I
Oh
thought,
no.
"Oh, you're not going to be here long. Sorry." No, but you are, because you understand.
Yes.
That's great. Um, where do you want give me the future? Where do you want to be in a few years from now? Where is your restaurant? What is your specialty? When we hear Chef Diana, what are we going to hear?
I would like to be my restaurant to be in New York City, to be leading, you know, I envision it with people lining in line or people lining for reservations. I would like to be in the heart of Manhattan. So I would have to research for a very good location for that. But I'm thinking of promoting more fusion for Italian and Filipino cuisine. So if that's gonna be my restaurants, that's what I envision, because there's not a lot of Italian and Philippine restaurant that is already like in New York City, because it's mostly like just the solely Italian, solely French. So that's what I'm really hoping for, and like I'm really envisioning myself for.
That's a really interesting combination.
Yes.
Italian and Philippines. Wow.
Yes. 'Cause there's a
Very
lot of
interesting.
pastries of good Italians as well. And
Uh,
there's a lot of good dishes of Filipino as well. I'm not sure if everybody's more like familiar, but there's a lot of good things in there. Yes.
that would be that would be a challenge to try. That would be
Yes.
very interesting. I look forward to that. Last
Thank you.
question. Um, let's talk about giving back. Uh,
Mhm.
Actually, I have two last questions, but this one, let's talk about giving back. Do you envision a philanthropic end to your restaurant? Do you see yourself donating food? Do you see yourself helping certain charities? Do you want to give back to the community?
So last year, I we already did. We are part of the City Harvest food organizations, which give back to New York City who cannot actually buy food and meals. So I was part of that of already two events, and we cooked for actually like 400 people, and we give that back to New York City. And the City Harvest helped us to organize all that.
Oh, that's great. That's very
Thank
funny.
you
I
so
thought
much.
I thought I'd hear an answer. Why, yes, one day we will. No, you're already doing it.
Yeah, we are already doing it, and this year we're already gonna do another one too.
More power to you. More power to you.
Yes.
Good for you.
Thank you so much.
All right. This question just popped into my head.
Sure.
Uh, you speak quickly. You speak efficiently. You know what you're talking about. You have a future. The whole works. Do you see?
Thank
Do you
you
see
so much.
yourself being on a reality show somewhere? Will there be a cooking show with your name on it?
I would really love to. I'm not gonna lie with you. I would really love to. I feel like talking talking with your own experiences just like comes and smoothly as possible because you're not trying to like, let's say, how would you say that in a good word, like fake it or like make story out of it, but like I would love to be one of those people that is a young chef aspiring for the young chefs or inspiration for young chefs that, oh, I'm young, I cannot do that. No, you should start young so you can do more great things in the future.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. That's great. That's very noble. You're opening doors for others. Good for you. Talk
Thank
about
you.
giving back. Excellent. Excellent. All right, Diana, tell us exactly where you are these days so we can go in and sample your food.
Yes, please. Let's visit me on Wayan. It's 20 Spring Street, New York, New York. We're in the heart of the Soho, and we are serving French Indonesian cuisine.
Excellent. All right. I know where I'm taking my next group of guests
Yes,
for dinner.
please.
Diana, thank you so much. This has been enlightening. This has been wonderful. I wish you all the best. And please keep me posted on what's going on. And
Yes.
I welcome spreading the word on your dishes and your ambition.
Thank you very much, Jay. It was so pleasure. I'm very honored to speak with you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Same to you.